Hey y'all, so real quick, I'm just going to show you how how sheets are really easy to use since I've been making these Excel things. So start out in Google Drive, and I'm going to go into a folder that I just named Stuff. Because when I was in high school, my teacher said in chemistry, never use things, stuff, or junk. So let's go to the Stuff folder. I'm going to right click, and you can either do right-click Google Sheets blank spreadsheet, or you can do New Google Sheets blank spreadsheet. Either way. Excuse me. Now this isn't going to start saving itself automatically until you give it a name. So give it a name first. That way it can start automatically saving. And what's nice about Sheets, what's better than Excel, is it automatically saves. See this? Saving. See this? Saving. Now, one of the other things I can also look at, if I go to File, Version History, see Version History, I can see the changes that I've made. But I can also see the changes that other people have made. And that's where we get into sharing. If I want to share this with somebody, I click Share. I can enter their names. I can add them here. And I can give them different permissions. So editable permissions, so basically all of the permissions, or just permission to comment but not change anything, just permission to view but not comment or change anything. So for instance, if you're doing a presentation for a bunch of people, you might want them to be able to view it but not edit it because you don't want them to mess up your presentation, but you want them to be able to see it. You might want them to comment on it if you want to know what's wrong, what's right, what's good, what's bad about this spreadsheet. And this is the same with all of Google Drive. So spreadsheets, Google Docs, Google Slides, so on. Or you might want to give a person the chance to edit it so that they can, you can work on it at the same exact time as they are, and you can be on opposite corners of the world. You can be at home while they're at work. Whatever, all you need is an internet connection. So I'm going to get rid of this fake email address, although someone probably has it. The other way to share, you can click Get Shareable Link, and what this does is it gives you this link, which you can copy to clipboard, and then you can open up your emails and email it to another person. Again, they can work on it while you're working on it. They can work on it after you close it. They can work on it totally independently or at the same time. For that matter, you can have 15 people working on it at once. But now you notice here it says anyone with the link can view. And again, this is permissions. You can either turn off link sharing. You can make it so anyone with the link can edit, can comment, or can view. And then there's more. There's some other advanced stuff. So let's open that up. So this says anyone with the link can view, because I just made that possible. You can make it public on the web, so anyone on the internet has access, or you can turn it off. And if you turn it off, now only the people in this list whose email addresses I have added can share it. You can do other things too, like you can click Prevent Editors from Changing Access and Adding New People. If you do that, let's say I add 5 people here. They're editors, they can edit the data, but they cannot change who can share it. And then you can disable options to download, print, copy for commenters and viewers. And this might be good for instance, if you have some sort of intellectual property or something that's copyrighted, which you don't want to get in the hands of someone else. You don't want to get in the hands of the competitors, the competition, or for whatever reason it's embarrassing information or whatever. You may have people who are able to comment and view, but you won't allow them to download, print, or copy. Now, with that said, there's this careful distinction. If you add editors here, by default, those editors can download, print, and copy the information. That's part of being able to edit this. And so be careful about what you do with permissions. And then it's got these quick links for Facebook and Gmail and whatever. So at any rate, this is what really makes Google Sheets better, in my opinion, than Microsoft than using regular Excel. So I get it. With Excel, you can take this and save it to a desktop file or whatever. You can email it as a link, and then someone else edits it and they can email back to you. The trouble is with this right here, you cannot both be working on it at the same time. So it allows for sort of like partial collaboration. In other words, this can be worked on in only in a serial manner, one after another, whereas this can be worked on in a parallel manner, where you're all working on it at the same time, and you can actually see who changes what. So those are some of the main things that are different between the two. There's this nice comment feature, which I believe Microsoft Excel has comments. Now, again, I want to mention that Microsoft Office 365 does allow for sharing, but it's limited. Although I think, I assume now it's at least equivalent to Sheets in terms of functionality, but it's not. You're not going to get full Office program functionality from the online version. They cut some of that stuff out, for one thing. So that's one thing to remember. And the last time I used 365, it was just kind of clunky and stuff. Now the other disadvantage is 365 uses OneDrive and saves your data there, whereas Google uses Google Drive and saves your data here. Now, you might say that doesn't matter to me. And online storage is online storage. What's different is OneDrive, by default, gives you 5 gigabytes of space only to share and to use, only for you, for that one account, whereas Google gives you 15. Now, there's ways to expand this through some sort of marketing things. I think my personal one still has 17 gigabytes free. You can pay money to get more. You can pay money to Microsoft to get more space. But in terms of the free accounts, Google Drive gives you 15, OneDrive gives you 5. Google's Office applications are shareable, so aren't Microsoft 365 applications, but the 365, it was clunky when I last used it. Admittedly, though, that was some years ago. The internet wasn't as good and they hadn't put as much time into it, so it might be fine now. I'm sure it's fine now, but I'd still recommend Google. The other nice thing here too is you can actually take and you can upload stuff. So I'm going to close this. Now you notice it doesn't show up here yet, but when I reload, there it is. So you can upload files here. So let's see, I think I was using this one maybe. So I'm going to upload. Now you see this is XLSX. If it is an SLSX, that's an open file format that Microsoft uses, and that can be directly edited by Google Sheets. If it's only XLS, then what will happen is Google Drive will create a copy. It will import itself into Google Sheets, so create a copy, and that's what you'll work from. If it has the X at the end, so XLSX, DocX, PPTX, then it is open, and you can basically just put it into Drive, like I have here, and then you can share it with other people, and you can pretty much treat it like it's a Google Sheets file. If it is only XLS, the older file format, then it will create a copy in Google Sheets, and you should share that copy. All right, so anyways, you can see conditional formatting works. You notice that there are some issues here where, for instance, in this case with Google, conditional formatting of a null cell does not take it as though it's less than a quantity or that it's 0. It's just null. It's just blank. So there are differences, but they're small and subtle. I'm going to pause that one here because this is just supposed to be a quick one to show you some of the differences between the two and why I think you should use Google instead at this point. It's got everything that a teacher would use. It's got most things that most people would use. I mean, for 95% of your work, Google's going to be fine. Certainly, there are times when you need a full program like Microsoft, and for that it's available. So use that as needed. Yeah, all right. See y'all.